You book future excursions and staycations, and order your favorite meal to go to support our business community, as they have supported our community and our families for many years. Remember, behind your favorite shops, restaurants, and businesses are people, your own neighbors, friends, and family who work tirelessly to provide goods and services for all of us. While riding the waves of change and staying apart for now, we look forward to the near future when we'll be together again. Hi, this is Richard Vixoric, Mayor of Dana Point. As we navigate these uncharted waters, Dana Point residents and businesses have proven to be resilient. While we can't gather together at our favorite beaches, shops, restaurants, or trails, our connections remain strong. Now is the time to think of one another and find new ways to connect, lift each other up, and assist our neighbors in any way we can. Remember to shop local, purchase gift cards, post a kind review, book future excursions and staycations, and order your favorite meal to go to support our business community, as they have supported our community and our families for many years. Remember, behind your favorite shops, restaurants, and businesses are people, your own neighbors, friends, and family who work tirelessly to provide goods and services for all of us. While riding the waves of change and staying apart for now, we look forward to the near future when we'll be together again. this is Richard Vicsorik, Mayor of Dana Point. As we navigate these uncharted waters, Dana Point residents and businesses have proven to be resilient. While we can't gather together at our favorite beaches, shops, restaurants, or trails, our connections remain strong. Now is the time to think of one another and find new ways to connect, lift each other up, and assist our neighbors in any way we can. Remember to shop local, purchase gift cards, post a kind review, book future excursions and staycations, and order your favorite meal to go to support our business community, as they have supported our community and our families for many years. Remember, behind your favorite shops, restaurants, and businesses are people, your own neighbors, friends, and family who work tirelessly to provide goods and services for all of us. While riding the waves of change and staying apart for now, we look forward to the near future when we'll be together again. Hi, this is Richard Vicsorik, Mayor of Dana Point. As we navigate these uncharted waters, Dana Point residents and businesses have proven to be resilient. While we can't gather together at our favorite beaches, shops, restaurants, or trails, our connections remain strong. Now is the time to think of one another and find new ways to connect, lift each other up, and assist our neighbors in any way we can. Remember to shop local, purchase gift cards, post a kind review, book future excursions and staycations, and order your favorite meal to go to support our business community, as they have supported our community and our families for many years. Remember, behind your favorite shops, restaurants, and businesses are people, your own neighbors, friends, and family who work tirelessly to provide goods and services for all of us. While riding the waves of change and staying apart for now, we look forward to the near future when we'll be together again. this is Richard Vixoric, Mayor of Dana Point. As we navigate these uncharted waters, Dana Point residents and businesses have proven to be resilient. While we can't gather together at our favorite beaches, shops, restaurants, or trails, our connections remain strong. Now is the time to think of one another and find new ways to connect, lift each other up, and assist our neighbors in any way we can. Remember to shop local, purchase gift cards, post a kind review, book future excursions and staycations, and order your favorite meal to go to support our business community, as they have supported our community and our families for many years. Remember, behind your favorite shops, restaurants, and businesses are people, your own neighbors, friends, and family who work tirelessly to provide goods and services for all of us. While riding the waves of change and staying apart for now, we look forward to the near future when we'll be together again. Hi, this is Richard Vixoric, Mayor of Dana Point. As we navigate these uncharted waters, Dana Point residents and businesses have proven to be resilient. While we can't gather together at our favorite beaches, shops, restaurants, or trails, our connections remain strong. Now is the time to think of one another and find new ways to connect, lift each other up, and assist our neighbors in any way we can. Remember to shop local, purchase gift cards, post a kind review, book future excursions and staycations, and order your favorite meal to go to support our business community, as they have supported our community and our families for many years. Remember, behind your favorite shops, restaurants, and businesses are people, your own neighbors, friends, and family who work tirelessly to provide goods and services for all of us. While riding the waves of change and staying apart for now, we look forward to the near future when we'll be together again.
Good evening. Kelly Render and staff and commissioners. I would like to call the meeting to order again at 6:01 on December the 9th. And we will do the Pledge of Allegiance. May I ask Commissioner Mr. Anthony to do it?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, may we have the roll call?
Commissioner Banks? Commissioner Schnell? Here. Commissioner Small?
Here.
Vice Chair Jenkins?
Here.
Chair Robb?
Here.
For the record, all commissioners are present.
Thank you. So we would like to have the approval of the minutes, the Art and Culture Commission meeting minutes, September 9th, 2020. And recommended action that the Arts and Culture Commission approve the minutes of the September 9th, 2020 meeting and receive and file. Someone like to make a motion?
So moved.
I will second it.
So for the vote, Commissioner Banks?
There's a funny green one.
Commissioner Schnell?
Yes.
Commissioner Small?
Yes.
Vice Chair Jenkins?
Yes.
Chair Robb?
Yes.
Commissioner Banks?
Yes.
By consensus, this motion passes 5-0.
All right, I don't believe we have any public comments, correct?
There are no public comments.
Okay, then we'll move on to C, old business. Item 2 would be the update on the traffic control utility boxes art program.
Thank you, Chair Robb. I have just a very brief report tonight that all of the boxes have been installed and completed, and we'll be working on a article with Dana Point Times to feature the project and one of the artists that did complete the boxes. We will, I will be bringing in the new year, probably the next meeting, a phase 2 for the commission to consider so that we can continue rolling out this program, as I think it's been really well received and it's added a lot of vibrancy to the city. Thank you.
Yes, Commissioner Schnell.
I just have a quick question because I have some ideas on that. Do we discuss it at this time, or should I just call you and talk to you on the phone? So it's on the next agenda. I don't know the protocol.
You're welcome to call me and talk with me about your ideas for the next time, but I will be agendizing it at the next meeting, and so the commission will have the opportunity to discuss how they'd like to proceed forward with the program. Thank you.
Thank you.
I got,
Can we ask questions?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what artists or artists are going to be featuring in the articles?
Commissioner Small, can you put on your microphone, please?
My question was just asking if you knew which artists or artists were going to be featured in the Dana Point Times article. Me too.
So green
leaving
is
mine.
on, right?
Leaving it on.
I'll go ahead and use this opportunity as long as this.
Oh, here, okay. The artist that is going to be interviewed was one of the high school students that completed a box. Her name is Savannah Haas.
Cool.
Thanks.
Since this all has happened, and by the way, they all look fabulous. And I know Nancy and I had a fun day when the one was being installed right at the end of their street. Should be on, right? Okay. And we went down and met the installers and watched them actually do the process. It was really loads of fun. So that was great. And our best advocate is Cliff Wassman. Oh my gosh. So he's been on Facebook, he's been on Dana Point Unplugged, and all these people have been responding and just loving it. So a gentleman in San Juan Capistrano contacted Cliff and said, I want to know all about how you guys did it and everything. So Harrison Taylor, who is on the San Juan Capistrano Historic Society and lives on Los Rios Street. And his initial idea is real excitement about doing something like ours, but his initial idea was the historic images. So taking them from the historic society and having them reproduced and done that way. So I told him I'd love to help him if he needed any help. And he's it kind of hopes his father is on the San Juan Capistrano City Council. And I didn't realize, did you know this, that they do have an Art in Public Places fund? So he was saying like the Chick-fil-A that's just going in is giving money to that particular fund. I didn't know they had that. And so anyway, gave him the name of the contact of the person that did the vinyl. And it's really exciting when other cities are seeing what you're doing and going, wait a minute, we want to be right in there too. So good job.
Thank you. Thank you, Karen. So we'll move on to item 3, my favorite subject of the evening, Lantern Bay Park Stairs Artwork Subcommittee report.
This is Karen and my baby right now. We actually spent about 3 or 4 hours, and we contacted, first of all, we sat and had lunch and brainstormed, and we went to the ambassador of the harbor, who is Jim Miller, and ran the whole thing around, and he was so excited. So then he said, why don't you contact the harbor folks, the ones that are in charge of redoing the whole harbor. We didn't get in to talk to them personally, but we did leave a message, and they wrote back to us. She wrote back to us, and they want to get back to it at the beginning of the year. But then, since I know a lot of people there, and I spoke to Steve from Proud Mary, and he was all excited about it. So we've been brainstorming on how to get the funds to do this. I think everybody has seen these. I don't think the only one might be. You've got that? Okay, yeah. I have an email. I can send it to you. But what we're doing now is trying to figure out our budget and also think how we can go about doing this. Karen's going to speak on some of the ideas that San Francisco had, and it was to bring the whole community together, which is really perfect now. And I even had this idea yesterday, and I talked to
Karen about it, even do a GoFundMe for it so that we don't have to take funds from the city, because I know the city is low on it. But it's just something that's all being put together right now. Karen has done a lot of work before I came along, and I'm going to hand the mic over to her. She also contacted a lady that actually does the mosaic, and there's all kinds of ideas how to put it together. And that's where we're at. We're all excited about it. Go for it, Karen.
You're more than welcome. It's an interesting process, and
It
as you
is.
can tell, we're at the possibility. They're just so excited and going, "Oh my gosh, we've got to have something like that in the city." I just wanted to real quickly, the 16th Avenue tiled steps up in San Francisco. It was really started by the local community. It was in a rundown area of San Francisco, and they wanted to beautify that particular neighborhood. So from working on the tiled steps going up the street to also really having a big committee doing all the landscaping. And I don't know if any of you have noticed, but the landscaping around the steps is tough. Now, I've heard that there's reasons behind all of that because of the terrain and, that sort of thing. But that too will be part of this project. It's a total project of beautifying the whole area going up there to Lantern Bay Park. So they ended up, they had 2 artists that worked on the project. And I spoke with one of the artists, and one of them does ceramic work, and the other one does mosaics. So from the pictures, you can see there's a nice mixture of different things. So we don't have to totally say it could be one or the other. We're going to explore all different ideas. They had on this one over 2,000 handmade tiles. That is incredible. And 75,000 fragments of tile, mirror, and stained glass went into the finished piece. So, and what was really wonderful is the 2 artists also had workshops, workshops with the community, and you could go in and work on it and actually help produce these pieces. Isn't that amazing? And think of how fun that'd be. I know a few of us that would be in there doing that would be actually working and interacting with it. So on their website, it's amazing. They have 300 sponsors. So from as small as $150, a person contribute and did a tile or a certain piece, they have on their list the name of that person and the number behind it on what step they're on. So they could be on step number, this one has 2, on 96 and 100. So you can find your actual name and be a part of that. So as I say, there's a lot of the business level donors and neighbors, $300. You have a lot of $5,000, which was one of the grants through the city. The Union Bank did one. So you had the bank. And so that, we can explore a lot of different options with this. And their big emphasis, and I know this was discussed at a couple times, is the maintenance and upkeep of these works. So some of the people just donated other donations for maintenance of the tiled steps. Really, a wonderful collaboration through the local home association, volunteers, the community. Everybody got involved, and there was a lot of buy-in. So, any questions, comments? Yes.
First of all, where's 16th Street in San Francisco? What's it near? Like,
It's near, no, it's, let me find the name of the Golden Gate Heights.
Golden Gate Heights?
Heights. Golden Gate Heights. So it
okay.
is way up a hill, and at the very top has the view of a lot of the area.
It used to be a military base, and that was given to the city, and part of it is a park, and now part of it's a housing area.
Yeah.
Well, this makes
Thank
the
you.
Ocean Institute, this really up, because I remember going down there looking for my granddaughter's artwork. Remember all those tiles? So that's a really neat idea, especially if you're going to do public-private, so they know where they're.
I have a question for Kelly and do we need approval from the city council to keep working on this, or is it something that we can keep going and when we have all our ducks in a row come to you to bring to them? Or?
Can I just make a comment when you're working on that? Not about that. I was just going to say, I want to thank both of you for your reports, and they're really good. I'm sure you've included to contact the other end, the Marriott, and they've been closed for so long.
Yeah.
So
And I know Jim too. So between, I think this whole group, we know everybody in town. But
Well, it was tough at this particular time to be able to.
It's tough to do a lot of things at this point.
Yeah, exactly. And that.
or you can work online.
Or you can use this one.
How frustrating.
Thank you. So right now, we can continue to work on this project, explore it. I think you still need to probably figure out how many steps we have, cost per step, concept,
We have
and then once kind of a whole package is put together that the commission feels very strongly about and feels is ready to recommend to city council, then it would at that time go to city council for approval for the project. So that is the process.
Are you excited about it?
I think it could be absolutely stunning and cool, and I think including the community to be a part of it would be a great asset and attribute to the project. So I implore you to continue to work on it, explore it, and we'll work together to put something together.
Good, thank you.
Kelly, please I have one other question to you, and I don't know if you know the answer to this. It makes loads of sense, particularly at this time, that we bring in an artist that can help and be a part. That's the budget, the everything. And, but would this person be excluded from applying or being the main artist of it if?
Not necessarily. I think if you are using someone in a fashion to consult about how to put the project together, but I do think you may want to consider to do a call for artists or talk to, you know, bring in a few different folks and kind of go through that process so that
So I think if
so
I,
it's a little more
if I talk
inclusive.
to more than one,
I think you
Right?
I think actually,
you know,
I think right now we're in the information gathering stage, and I think talking to as many people who can contribute knowledge of a project like this, and that may be from people, not just the artist, but if the city was involved or a different community group and kind of what their experience was, because they certainly may have other perspectives than just the artist. I think that's helpful, and that can also shed some light on some of the different aspects of the project that we may not be thinking about.
thank you.
I have a question, very important question. So we've got to narrow it down as to, is it going to be an Orange County artist? Is it going, you have to have some direction on that.
I think we
right?
need to determine the full scope of the project, and then we can go
And then
out
go.
to artists and see who would really excel at a project like that. But I think we need to have a scope and probably a concept of the direction that we would want, or a few concepts that we would want to see as artwork on. I mean, not fully developed concepts, but broad concepts that we would want the artist to kind of focus their creativity around.
And when you're going private, public, you have to have your ducks in a row when you're going asking for money, for any corporate
Oh,
money.
yeah.
Yeah, I think really a scope of work and sort of a whole project package needs to be developed based on what you guys are working on. That's kind of a next step for the subcommittee, is really to start putting some meat around
We
the
started.
concepts that, you've started having a lot of conversations and, kind of putting really a formal, I mean, how many stairs do we have out there? What concepts would be, what we anticipate the cost? Is a landscaping project a part of it or not? What the ongoing maintenance costs are? Those all kind of need to be included, and have to be really well thought out and vetted before it can go before City Council for approval.
Thank you. That's exactly, I agree.
Anthony?
Try it again. No. Try one more time.
Hold it down a bit.
Look at the
Now try it.
I don't want to touch mine because I'll come.
I left mine on.
Yeah, I'm not touching mine. But what if you hit the one on the left?
Nancy.
Hit the one- Push the one on the left a lot.
That's what I kept getting last time.
Just hold it. Okay, now go to the side. Push, hold.
Turn mine on and off.
Try that.
I have turned mine on and off, so.
I didn't turn mine on.
I'm not touching
The
mine.
red went off, and I went to turn it on, and green came on, and no red.
Yeah.
See, that's what I kept getting last time, was that green.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that could be it.
So my mic is on now. So when you're done speaking, you need to turn your mic off. Does someone have the ability to turn the other mics off? No? Okay. So that's what's happened, is someone is leaving their mic on. So okay, so anyways, I have a question and comment. So at this point, you're referring to the point of the process as information gathering. We have a subcommittee, and developing a scope of work and things like that. So at what point if for instance I have some recommendations or suggestions, at what point do we need to wait for the subcommittee to bring it to the next meeting before I can make a suggestion of process or okay, I just because yeah. Okay, so okay, so at the meetings that then it's appropriate to make the suggestions and what have you. Okay, I will have my ducks in a row for the next meeting.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. I mean, it might save us some legwork too, if you have some ideas.
Yeah. Yeah,
But there's a lot of things that I think that obviously that you guys have put on the table with regards to the notion of public and private and saving the city money and things like that. One of the questions that I have is, we do have money in the arts and public places, and I wanted to ask if that money or a portion of that money, I understand that we would make the request of the city council for that. And so I'd like to ask the subcommittee, in planning the scope of work on the finance side of it, how are you approaching, or what are your thoughts with regards to the percentage of the funding coming from the existing art and public places funds that we already have versus sponsorships and other funding paths?
Anthony, those are some of the things that we're working on right now. We're looking at, for example, like the people have expressed that they want to do something, and we have with restaurants. There's going to be different allocations that funds are going to come through. I mean, we've been thinking, our brains are going everywhere, but there's a lot of enthusiasm going on. And whether when we get to a certain point is when we'll bring it up to the city council and show everything that we have and ask how they want to participate. And they could be participating in the upkeep. We even talked about that, because there's going to be upkeep. So if we get everybody else to fund it, then maybe that part of that can be used for that. I don't know. I mean, I'm treading on new waters, and I think our chair is going to say something.
I do want to say something. I want to say that I know that city council is going to be not so hesitant if we determine to go with an artist that is going to do, or an idea that's going to do more maintenance free. For sure. So just a thought.
Yeah, no, it's a thought, but there probably is going to have to be something. I mean, even if there's landscaping, that's going to be an upkeep on the sides.
Right, I'm not
Using the
talking about
pictures with
landscaping.
the tiles,
Do we know they're going to be tiles yet, for sure?
No, we don't.
Okay.
It's between, yeah.
That was my question. Okay.
Since we did the committee last time, and I said that I didn't have any free time to do anything, and so I didn't even want to be on the committee. And since then, due to circumstances, I have lots of free time. And I know that I'm looking at Kelly for some kind of guidance for this. I know that you can only do 2 people because you can't have 3 people. But I hear that the project could be divided into 2 things, and I could just present, because I was wondering if, since you're doing all the artistic part and all the cost of the tiles and all, I just went and talked to the landscaping, because it is Park and Rec that is adjacent to it. And if I talked to them and what their thoughts were, and I presented that material, could I do that?
I think it's probably premature. I'm not that overly concerned about the landscaping. I mean, that just is a change, and that probably gets worked into our contract with our landscape maintenance crew. And we don't really even have a concept of what that change is going to be yet. So I think that's probably a conversation that's further off. And I do think you you have to be careful as commissioners this is the time as a group to discuss this project and your ideas and everything. This is the time. And outside of the meeting, you have 2 commissioners who are working on it, and you should not be having other conversations about the project that are outside then the
Fine,
commission
thank you. I
meeting.
just-
Yeah.
All right then. No other questions? Comments? Growling? of any kind?
Actually, I will. I am going to comment because Commissioner Jenkins mentioned during last meeting how she had expressed at the time that she was very busy and she therefore would remove herself from the discussion for the subcommittee. And I have to say that I felt that the process in naming the subcommittee, I just felt that this project from the very start is something that both Commissioner Schnell and myself have advocated for, pushed through, spoke with a number of staff from the infancy of this project, or rather the infancy of the discussions prior to the when we walked the parks, and those types of things. And the way that the subcommittee was assigned last time, I felt that it was railroaded as a bit of a strong description, but I felt like I didn't have an opportunity to properly put my hat in the ring. I did question the process at the time. But I just really felt like it's something that that I have advocated for and dedicated a lot of time, and now I feel that my hands are rather, rather tied. So how I will approach it, I'm just going to put it on the record, is how I will approach it is I will bring, as I would have prepared, if I were on the subcommittee, I will bring those types of things, suggestions to the next meeting, and then leave it in the capable hands of the current subcommittee. But I was not pleased with the process last time. I felt I'm trying to think of the appropriate word, but I'll just leave it at that. We all have, most of us had expressed interest in that, but it was just one commissioner expressing that she would like to be on that, and then there was no other discussion of other interest, and then our chairperson just assigned that. And if that's the process, then so be it. But I just, we haven't had a lot of meetings. We haven't had a lot of new business. And I just really felt like this is something that I was, myself and Commissioner Schnell were really pushing up, up the hill and trying to bring to the forefront of the agendas, of other staff, outside of this committee and what have you. So there's no question, as I stated at the last meeting, that the project is in capable hands, but I just did not feel like that was an appropriate, that there was appropriate discussion or assignment. So I will come prepared next time, and I guess that's it. I wanted to speak my piece. Thank you.
Commissioner Schmall, that was why I brought up the other part too, was because I had been very involved at the beginning, and I'm well aware of that you can only have 2 people on it. But I was just thinking of some way to truncate the project and put it into 2 separate sections that wouldn't intrude upon that. But that's fine with me. I have other things I can do too, so I don't need, and landscaping is not my love of my life, having grown up in a big city. So, I am just as happy, but I just wanted to point out was I realized that there can only be 2.
This is the time to discuss that this project is on the agenda for discussion. So any commissioner can come with their comments, their questions, their ideas. This is the time to exchange that information and to help move the project forward through that information exchange. It's really just the two people. Those two commissioners can kind of talk to each other about it, but we don't want to create a Brown Act situation where we have commissioners outside of a meeting all meeting on this project. But that certainly does not stop any commissioner from working, collecting information, collecting questions, all of that. That should be taking place so that you can have a really good discussion in this meeting about the project.
Okay, thank you for the clarification and thanks for allowing me to express myself.
And we're going to do the heavy lifting. And then we can continue and bring more ideas for them to do. And I think our frustration lies in the fact that the meetings are so far apart and that we don't know what they've done. Like, for instance, when I suggested the Marriott, just because I hadn't heard you mention the Marriott, and I realized it had been closed because of the pandemic and all, but I just wanted to make sure, in case you had forgotten it, to look on the other side and just see them, because I think they financially could become that's just in my mind, a real partner in this. So we don't
Well,
need to discuss that.
No, and as we get our ducks in a row, as I want to say, get our, where we're going, yes, believe me, we're going to contact everybody at the harbor. And the harbor people, even though they said it was part of I think didn't they say that was, but it's City of Dana Point. I know that they'll want to be involved because they want to have their name everywhere. So I see it as a huge, huge community effort, and I think it will be great. And just to say something, I brought it up at one of the meetings. I was trying to look through here because I hadn't heard anything about it, and I spend a lot of time down at the harbor, and I had mentioned the steps, and then that's how we got into it. And I'm the one that brought it up at one of the meetings, and that's how I ended up on the committee. So I didn't mean to step on anybody's toes, but I had the enthusiasm to bring it back up. So I apologize if I did step on your toes.
Okay, no apologies necessary. I think we're all on track with this. We all want to be involved with the subcommittee, but we can't. So did you want to say something, Kelly?
I was just going to say, does the commission want to establish any sort of deliverables that they would like, maybe from the subcommittee for the next meeting, or maybe to focus on an area of the project so that that can we get some momentum?
That would be excellent. So, for instance, we didn't want to step on any toes, but we didn't, I'm using the Marriott as an example. If I'd seen a list of it and the Marriott had been on it, I wouldn't have spoken in the first place. So, instead of just talking about that. So.
All right, we'll move on to item 4. I'm removing this from the agenda on item 4, so we can move on to item 5. It'll be the 2021 meeting calendar. Kelly, do you have any thoughts on this? I think it looks great to me.
Thank you. You should have a handout that outlines the 2021 Arts and Culture Commission meeting calendar. Is very similar to last year's meeting calendar, and I think we were able to get a few great projects accomplished last year and hope to do so again this year. So before you is the calendar. Thank you.
All right, so we can move on to the Art and Culture Commissioner reports. Anthony?
Yeah, so since our last meeting, my activities in the community as they relate to arts and culture, one of the things that I was able to do in my bi-monthly article or column for the Dana Point Times was mention the art in public places, mention our Arts and Culture Commission, and mention each of the artists that were in the first round. However, there was a not only a typo for Steve Adam, but a redundant typo. He was referred to Steve Adams twice in the article, but that's being rectified online. But I just want to be able to also mention the fact that the pride that each of the artists have taken and shared, like as you mentioned about Cliff. Many of the other artists that were chosen have also done a great job mentioning it, thanking the city for the opportunity, and those types of things. And I have also received just random, not in my role as a arts and culture commissioner, but just random commentary about how beautiful those are. So, in these tough times where we've all worked together to try to get some traction and make some impact in the community, it's very nice to to see that. Let's see. Shortly after our meeting last time, in my role with the Music Preserves Foundation, we worked in conjunction with Ocean Institute and brought a musical element to their online maritime festival, and interviewed the Kalama brothers on the history of Hawaiian music as it relates to maritime culture. And then the next day interviewed Killian's Bridge, same thing with regards to Irish culture and its relation to the maritime festival. So, the Ocean Institute didn't have the opportunity to have their iconic Tall Ships Festival, and they moved it online and involved the other institutes and institutions from around the world. And Music Preserves Foundation was very happy to add that music and cultural element, to it. To move on, we'll also, Commissioner Schnell and I have participated in the Arts OC periodic Zoom calls for arts leaders. Both, and I participate that on both the city, and then they have a separate call for small arts organizations in which I represent, or participate in my role as, Music Preserves. As an artist or performing artist in music, I had the opportunity to perform for the Four Muses, which is a group in the late 60s and early 70s. This group, the Four Muses, was quite a cultural institution here in South Orange County, and the son of the originator, Jonathan Morgan Jenkins, has brought that back on again online. And I was able to participate in that and turn it into a fundraiser for a different nonprofit, that Sweet Relief Musicians Fund, that benefits musicians and music industry workers that were affected by the COVID shutdowns of venues, cancellations of tours, and those types of things. And then lastly, I was able to perform from the Coach House stage again on a live stream called Capistrano Live. Again, I just want to be able to always encourage and participate, those in our community that are trying to bring arts and culture to the forefront. And I kind of wear a lot of different hats, but those opportunities came up, and especially with regards to my friends at Sweet Relief Musicians Fund, we were able to make a significant contribution to them. So thanks for letting me express community activities as they relate to arts and culture.
I'll follow through on that. Thank you for sending us the information and seeing those. And it was fun to, be sitting in your house very comfortably and getting to watch you perform and the other artists performing. It was really quite a treat, I must admit. So thank you for
And
Oh.
I'm sorry to interrupt. One of the things that I neglected to mention was the fact that we included as the opening act Sage Escalante, who is a wonderful artist from Dana Hills High School, and I wanted to make a point to include them, but also to mention it in my report, and I spaced.
Which is a really big plus. She was amazing. Amazing. I was like going, wow. I could, just be at the coach house or whatever. It was really a treat. Thank you. It was nice. I just wanted to mention back to the utility boxes. Cliff did ask. A lot of people are asking for a list of the utility boxes, the artist, and where they're located.
We're working on that. We've had them, JP out to take pictures of the boxes, and it's just updating our website is it's one of those things. If we have spare time, we, go through and do that. But it's when we have time, we are trying to work
Okay.
on that project.
But that
Yeah.
makes sense because
Yes.
everybody's been asking Cliff, where are the rest of them?
And there's some, other updates, as that need to happen on, our art around town. So.
I know that part, but I just reminded that. Also, Cliff was telling me he is part of the Sawdust Festival in Laguna Beach, and they are still doing each weekend until December the 20th from 10 to 4, and it's a cost of $5 to go. You make the reservation online. Credibly so, they're they're compliant with all the state mandates, and which says 20%, and they're actually only accepting 10%. They got rid of the food portions that are there, any of that. So basically, they're similar to an outdoor marketplace. So if you wanted to have the opportunity to go to the Sawdust Festival. Also, this will be this weekend, December 12th and 13th, Art Along the Coast, which they did, how was it, like 3 months ago? They did it during the summer. And so if you actually go artalongthecoast.org, and I brought a map of all the different locations. It's really quite fun to go to the artists' studios or their homes. And I just wanted to point out in Dana Point, we have Ann Moore and Carolyn Machado. Both are right here in town, and it's nice, and again, to go out and support these artists and see they make sure it's very safe and compatible with that. So it is fun. So if anybody, as I say, Art Along the Coast, and it's this weekend. Thank you.
I'll come back to my commissioner report. Nancy?
I just wanted to piggyback on something what Commissioner Schnell just said, that it isn't necessarily in their studio. When I went to it in this previous summer, I thought that we would go into a small area where they were painting and so forth. A lot of them had pulled it out, and it's in the driveway of the houses and in the backyards. So for anybody who was a little hesitant because of the pandemic, it is completely safe. As safe as things can be. Thank you.
Maria? Okay. I've written a couple notes because I don't want to start crying, so you have to excuse me if I do. But anyway, I want to take this opportunity to pay condolences to Nancy Jenkins on the passing of Dick, and 3 weeks ago after an extended illness. Dick, as many of you know, attended all of our meetings and was quite vocal at times and very funny, and until he could no longer navigate. He will surely be missed by many friends he made over the years, being a retired Marine colonel and a South Coast Water District board member, as well as his support on a lot of other organizations. Our thoughts and prayers are with you during this very difficult time. So may I adjourn the meeting, do you think? Next regular meeting of the Arts and Culture Commission will be held on Wednesday, February 10th, 2020 at 6 o'clock in the City Council Chamber located 3282 Golden Lantern, Dana Point, California. And it is, wow, 6:50, and I would like to adjourn this. Oh, there you go, 6:51. And I would like to adjourn this meeting in honor of Dick Dietmeyer.